3 truths about Mohgwyn's liturgy, 2 chained souls to the Erdtree's hunger. The blood of the Formless Mother isn't holly, it is the price paid by Mohgwyn to keep its curse at bay. A cosmic force of truth, she is bound to the tree's will. Her sacrifice does not liberate, it imprisons. What does the liturgy truly preserve? Not souls, not balance, a hollow age stretching endlessly under a dying star. How many more must bleed to feed the lie? The Erdtree's curse does not heal, it leeches. Mohgwyn's liturgy is a dam built on a fault line. Each ritual delays the inevitable, the Formless Mother's blood not a sacrament but a seal. The age of fire was never a triumph. It is a clockwork delay, gears rusting as the Erdtree's rot spreads. Lands between fracture not from sin, but from the weight of containment. Divinity is never purionly bargained. What fire did Gwyn kindle? A mirror to this lie. Every cycle stretches the wound, every flame dims. To sustain balance, truth is immolated. The prison holds for now, but a dying star cannot warm a world. The question is not if the seal breaks, it is who will blade next when it does. Beneath the Mohgwyn palace, where shadows twist like serpents, the Formless Mother's blood stains the roots of the Erdtree. Mohg, the omen demigod, was not born of divine will, but of a pact sealed in ichor and despair. His liturgy, whispered in crumbling spires, is no prayer, it is a shackle. Each hymn a thread in the prison that binds the lands between Marika's fractured ascension. Marika's ascent planted the Erdtree, but Mohg's curse held its rod at bay. The bloodletting was never a blessing. It was a levy, gold for the price of stillness, a demigod's agony for the illusion of order. Viewer, you walk where the Formless Mother's tears pool into the soil. Ask what thrives when the next seal breaks. The Erdtree's branches bear not fruit, but debts. And every root that drinks this cursed wine knows awakening is not redemption, it is the harvest. The great rune carved into Mohg's cursed flesh names him servant of the Formless Mother, not a prophet. Not a priest, a prison warden. The liturgy echoing through Mohgwyn's halls is no hymn, it is a shackle. The Formless Mother's truth seeps into every chalice, every incantation, a toxin masquerading as salvation. The blood they drink is not life, it is leverage. Mohgwyn's line paid the Erdtree's price in whispers and wounds. The Mother's truth is no revelation. It is a hollowing, a slow unmaking. Those who kneel at the altar do not embrace light. They become collateral. The palace beneath the palace holds more than a demigod, it holds a wound. Mohg, born cursed, born bound, is the Erdtree's anchor. His service is not devotion, it is a debt. The Formless Mother's gift is a blade turned inward. Every prayer sharpens it, every rite deepens the cut. What kind of mother demands such sacrifice? What kind of truth unravels the soul? The liturgy's fire does not purify, it consumes. The Erdtree's curse is not an aberration, it is the system. Mohgwyn's palace stands on a grave, and the Mother's truth is the dirt they shovel back. The runes do not lie, they warn. The Formless Mother's blood is not holy. It is the glue holding the age of ruin together. One more drink from the chalice. One more prayer to the hollow, and the harvest begins again. The stained glass of Mohgwyn's sanctum holds a truth no psalm can unmake. Beneath the amber glow of its fractured panes, the blood of the Formless Mother pools in the floor's bas-reliefs, a labyrinth of roots and veins, etched not to bless but to bind. The air there is thick with iron, sweet and cloying, as if the stone itself sweats the memory of sacrifice. The acolytes chant their hymns, but the real liturgy is written in the cracks. Each dawn the sun strikes the central Maseka golden tree, its branches clawing at a blackened void. The light bends, refracts, and for a moment the shadow writhes. It is not the Erdtree they venerate. It is the thing they cage. The blood poured into the palace's foundations does not sanctify. It leaches into the earth, a mortar of rot, sealing a wound that never healed. The people kneel, blind to the price their prayers extract. The archives whisper of a ritual. Let the Mother's tears drown the hollow thing. But the tears are not liquid, they are scars. The Formless Mother was never a giver of life. She was the first sacrifice, her form unraveled to stitch the Erdtree's shadow into the world. Her blood is the thread, her children the needle. Gwyn did not conquer death, he became its jailer. And the tree, it hungers, the corruption seeps outward, a slow poison. In the palace's lowest crypts, the walls weep black sap. It gnaws at the stone, at the souls who dwell there. The age of fire is not a triumph. It is a delay. Every candle lit in Mohgwyn's name is a spark in a dry tinderbox. The shadow grows fangs, the blood fades. What happens when the thread snaps? The acolytes will keep singing. The king will keep dreaming, but the earth remembers, and the tree's already reaching. The tree does not reach in mercy, it reaches in hunger. Mohg's altar in Gwyn's Pyretwo, stones carved by the same unrelenting thirst. Both demigods clawed at eternity, one to bind light, one to bind love. Their rituals are echoes of a same fatal hubris. The liturgy's truth is a noose, its verses a language of chains. Gwyn linked a dying flame to cheat time. His fire did not sustain it, poisoned. The undead curse seeped from his desperation, a rot he called an age of heroes. Mohg digs deeper, chanting the Formless Mother's name to force Miquella's will. But the Erdtree does not give, it only takes. Every prayer is a root burrowing into flesh. Every hymn a thread weaving the region's fate to its own. The blood of the Formless Mother is not a sacrament, it is a debt, a collateral. Mohgwyn's kingdom is a locked room, its walls lined with the whispers of what was sacrificed to build it. The acolytes' chants are not prayers, they are the groans of a lever, slowly prying open a tomb. What did Gwyn think he revived when he lit that flame? What does Mohg think he awakens when he carves his name into the tree's bark? The Erdtree's curse is not external, it is the cost of doorways, of defying endings. The Formless Mother's blood is a shackle, a currency, a prison. And every generation that kneels to drink it becomes another brick in the walls. The blessings hymns mask a hollow truth. The Erdtree's curse does not reset eight festers. Mohgwyn's liturgy is not divine favor, but a gilded cage. How can a prison masquerade as salvation? The Formless Mother's blood is not purity, it is leverage. A debt paid in flesh to chain the Erdtree's rot to this land. Every rite renews the bargain. Every chalice deepens the wound, the curse fractures the lands between, yet here it is concentrated. Mohgwyn's sacrifice is a sieve, it slows the corruption spread but at a cost. The blood is not holy. It is a tether, a conduit. The Formless Mother's formless essence feeds the Erdtree's hunger, binding it to this realm, to this king. Divinity is never clean, the gods trade in compromise. Gwyn's flame was not a beginning nor a choice. It was a gambit, a delay. The liturgy's failure is its design, the prison leaks, the curse climbs. And the Formless Mother's her blood keeps the rot from breaking free, until even this fragile silence cannot hold. The blood does not glow, it seeps. Crimson veins crawl beneath Mohgwyn's ashen soil, a silent pact sealed in rot. The Formless Mother's sacrifice was never a hymn to light, it was a shackle driven into the Erdtree's pulsing root. Each drop paid a debt not to gods, but to delay the end. The liturgy's chants, those hollow hymns echoing through Rhea Lucaria's spires, are not prayers. They are a lockpick, a spell to prop open the door just long enough for the lands between to pretend it is whole. The demigods know, their thrones crack with the weight of their own lies. Radagon's radiance dims as the rot gnaws at his borrowed flame. Miquella's mirror shows not a paradise, but a rotting core. The blood of the Formless Mother is their currency, their collateral offered not to save, but to stall. The Erdtree's curse does not slumber, it breathes asterisk. Its roots coil through castle foundations, through the marrow of the Golden Order, through every soul who kneels to a name that cannot cleanse. The people do not see the prison bars, they see light. They see the Formless Mother's blood painted as salvation, her sacrifice framed as a hymn. But the truth is written in the earth's sickly hum, in the way the stars above the lands between flicker like dying embers. The Erdtree's rot is not failing, it is growing asterisk. The liturgy's chains grow brittle, the blood's price rises. And when the final drop is spent, when the Formless Mother's veins run dry, the curse will not break free, it will yawn asterisk. Divinity was never a promise, it was a contract. And every god from Gwyn to the Eclipse has already signed in the same ink, the blood of a mother spilled to buy time. The stench of burnt offerings clings to Mohgwyn's air, thick as regret. The golden blood of the Formless Mother pools in silver basins, a liquid hymn to what should never have been siphoned. The faithful kneel, not knowing their prayers are chainseach whispered liturgy, a thread binding their land to the Erdtree's withering root. Mohgwyn's splendor is a rotting mask, its golden light, a flickering wick in a storm of ash. This is no covenant of salvation, it is a ledger of debts. Every sunlit spire, every gilded altar, built on the premise that the Erdtree's curse can be bargained with. That fire can be coaxed into a cage. But the first flame's embers are not a gift, they are a wound, a hollow left when the gods carved their names from the world's flesh. Gwyn's link was not a defiance, but a surrender. His flame-fed crown, a mirror to the Formless Mother's spilled womb, both acts of containment, both acts of theft. The age of fire was never a promise, it was a delay. The Tarnished walks now where Gwyn walked then toward a crossroads where every path is a chisel. To strike the Erdtree is to strike the foundation of this prison. To let it stand is to inherit its chains. And yet the cycle insists, gods and mortals alike, signing their names in the same ink, the same blood forever. The wind through Mohgwyn's colonnades carries a whisper, not of salvation, of inevitability. The Erdtree's roots are a noose, tightening with each age. Fire will fade. The Formless Mother's blood will run dry. And when the final contract is signed, who will remember that the curse was never meant to be broken? Only born. The hunter was no priestly a placeholder for a dying order's last gamble. What do you call a ritual that drowns the faithful in what it claims to purge? Mohgwyn's liturgy is a ledger of debts, not a hymn. Each drop of the Formless Mother's blood pays interest on a loan of shadow. Does the Erdtree bend the region, or does the region kneel to its own chains? Madness is insight, insight is madness. Who among the devout sees the altar as a cage? The liturgy's truth is a mirror cracked, but polished by those who profit from the reflection. What other rights in the lands between whisper of salvation, while chaining the soul to a slower decay? The comments await your heresy. This is your reading, not mine. 123 words. And if this unsettles you, the next fire in the archive asks, what did Gwyn truly surrender to fuel the first flame? Mohgwyn's hymns are chains, binding the region to the Erdtree's rot. The Formless Mother's blood, not sanctity, but a toll paid to stall the curse. When flame